We start with our today's discussion. My name is Abdurrahman Hussein. Our today's topic is about active and passive voice. Let me start from active voice. Active voice is student when the subject of the verb is doing an action of a verb, the action of the verb. As we know, example, different kinds of activity. When example, the dog bite Hassan. You said the dog bite Hassan. The verb is said to be active voice. Do act as act example. But when the subject of the verb is being acted upon, we call it passive, or the verb is said to be passive. Student. Here it is. As we now, student, as when the subject of or passive voice is used when focus is on the action than on the doer of the action. But when we focus on doer of the action, what we call is active. But where we act or focus on an action than the doer of the action, we call it passive voice. Example, my bike was stolen. All the money has been stolen. The thief is chased. Origin. This is the types of student active. What you call a passive voice. So now let's come to the basic rules of the basic rule of what we call passive voice. Actually, there is a common basic rule that we have to understand to change active voice into passive voice again. Also, the first one is when sentence can be separated into subject, verb, and object. Every sentence that we can change from active voice to passive voice should be contain these three parties. The first is subject, verb, and object again. Also, the second principle of what you call active and passive voice is student. The object of active voice must be turned into the subject of passive voice, or the object of active voice is becomes the subject of passive voice. The third rule is student identify the types of tense that you have given. We should have to identify which tense is common, because the structure form to change active voice into passive voice might be vary from tense to tense. Therefore, before we change active voice into passive voice, we should have to identify the types of tense that you have given. The fourth, the verb be must or verb be form must be used according to the tense of the verb. Example, let we see under here, student, the subtopics of this. When we say verb be, there are different structures from tense to tense. Again, also, let we start from what you call simple present tense. When simple present active voice is given in simple present tense, to change active voice into passive voice, the structurally form should be student is am and are is used with simple present tense. But by with what you call simple past tense, was and were used with what you call past tense. Being is used with continuous tense. Being used with perfect tense. Be used with future tense. Past participle of the verb must be used again also at the end plus this structure again also. The preposition by is added, but sometimes it's optional. There is different kinds of verbs that might be take student to article or followed by another proposition. Example, cover. If we take a typical example of verb, cover with. Example, our house is covered is covered with snow. Is possible, surprise act covered with snow. So it is impossible always to say by proposition is not common, but it's optional again also. It's optional. The another principle is subject of active voice will be changed into the object of passive voice, as I told you previous time again also. There is some principle, dear student, that the following tables are given here again also that shows the structure of tenses in active and passive voice. Example, tense is here, simple present tense. Under active voice, subject plus what we call plus verb one. So when we change it to passive, subjective plus am or is or are plus VCD form of the verb. But this one is student, this is or are is based on the subject or number of a subject. Example for if it is 30% plural, we are first person, we are. I'm sorry, 30% she is, 30% he is, as well as 30% they followed should be are. So I'm a student first person, I always so this common one. Second is present continuous. Structurally, the present continuous well is given in the form of present continuous. A subject plus am is are plus ing form of the verb. But while we change this active voice to into passive, we should have to be student introduced with being. What dear my student, what I would like to tell you that don't forget to bring to add being in all continuous again also, not only belong to present continuous, past continuous again also. It is given in past continuous active voice, but when we change to active voice into passive voice, should be introduced with being, should be introduced again also. Third is student present perfect as or student subject plus has or have plus V3 forms verb, active voice, passive voice, subject has or have plus been plus V3 forms verb. All perfect been. All perfect is student passive voice been. The third is the fourth is also simple past tense, as you know in active form, subject plus verb to. Whereas the student is in passive voice, subject plus was or were plus this form of the verb. Structurally, student here, there is a difference. You should have to be intended. He identifies types of tense before we change active voice into passive voice again also. The fifth, past continuous student formally in the active voice, subject plus was or were plus ing form of the verb structure. But when we change to active voice, subject plus was or were plus being plus V3 form of the verb. V3 form of the verb is formerly given in the past continuous, the ing form or the main verb of a ing form of past continuous should be changed to V3 form of the verb. This rule is available for another tense again also. Past perfect. Past perfect student is subject plus in active voice, subject plus had plus V3 form of the verb. Whereas the student what you call passive voice is in the subject plus had plus been plus V3 form of the verb. We again another is student structurally. I will send you this table again also later on. Soon we cover ground is the types of this one. Dear student, simple future. Simple future is again also student is introduced with subject plus will or shall plus this form of the verb. But while we change it to what you call passive, subject plus will plus be plus V3 form of the verb. This is rule is student not only belong for with as well for can, for may, for shall is common again also. Don't forget. If it is shall again also, nothing get there, nothing no form change or not spelling change student rather than be is introduced to be. And future continuous student be as you know being is introduced as identified continuous is continuous. Future perfect. Future perfect is student is as structurally as I told you previous times, subject plus will or shall plus have plus this form of the verb. While we change it to passive, subject plus will or have plus been plus be this form of the verb. The another is again also simple conditional. Simple conditional. Subject plus would or should plus V3 form of the verb. In the passive voice student is subject plus would or should plus be plus V3 form of the verb is common again also. Another form is or structure of what you call student passive is be going to. Be going to again also it has own structure. While we change active voice into passive, example, subject plus am is are plus going to plus verb one. Now, while we change it to what we call it should be introduced with to plus be. To be plus this form of the verb. Have to as on again also. Use the to example as to. I will send it later on the structure of this passive and active voice. Have subject plus have to plus verb one. Subject has or have to plus to be plus this form of the verb again also student. With used to as well student common again also subject plus used to plus verb one, subject plus used to plus be plus this form of the verb is a gerund. Subject plus verb one plus ing, subject plus verb one plus ing plus this form of the verb. This another is student what you call it, we commonly use these types of active voice. Example student he washes the car. The car is washed as I told you. As the impersonate he is washing the car. The car is being washed. He has washed in present perfect. He has washed the car. The car has been washed. This is structurally, student, you can see the table. I will send you later. Soon we cover ground this lecture. Dear student, what I would like to tell at this is exceptional. Now I'm going to be tell you the exceptional rule to change active voices into passive. The first one is student sentence which cannot be changed into passive. One, present progressive is completely not changed from active voice to into passive. The first one is present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense can't be changed from active voice into passive voice again. Also, don't forget this one. Don't forget. Another exceptional is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb means, student, a verb that do not take an object in a sentence to give a complete meaning is what you call intransitive. Some of these are appear, arrive, become, come, sleep, go, happen, occur, rain, stay, walk, run, fit, have, resemble, suit, and the hate is, those are, student, what you call intransitive verb. While we say intransitive verb is kinds of verbs that don't take an object in a given sentence to express or to give a complete thought is what you call intransitive verb. So intransitive verb can't be changed from active voice into passive. Example, he has gun. This is has is intransitive verb. So this sentence is impossible. You can't change this sentence from active to passive again. Look in the second typical example again also. She is sleeping. Now, as I told you here in the above, sleep is again also intransitive verb. So it is impossible to change this structurally from active voice into passive voice. I think all of you are hearing still, but I haven't seen you video. Even if we come on, it's very important. Yes, Jale. Hello, Jale. Ramadan. Hello, Ramadan. Hello, everybody. Are you hearing?